Tapped in with us today is a woman who battled some of the toughest obstacles in her life, from generational trauma to a toxic relationship to deep soul searching and healing. She is now an accomplished actress, executive producer, and director, as well as 4-time Best Actress winner. Please welcome Sonia Balcazar.
Thank you so much.
Accolades.
You even pronounced my last name.
Oh,
right.
I have to.
That was great.
to.
That was great.
And I usually interject the applause right here, but sorry about that.
We're a mess today.
My applause button wasn't working. Welcome, Sonia.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
out. It's really cool.
And as always, we always ask, how far was your drive?
Yeah, where'd you come from?
Oh,
today?
yeah, I know. I've watched some of the podcasts. And
Yeah.
I'm like, they're right next 5 minutes away, 30 minutes away. It took me about 32 minutes.
Okay. Well, that's not too bad.
All right, that's cool.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Whereabouts are you from?
I'm in Pico.
You're in Pico?
Oh,
Pico
Pico.
Rivera.
Off the 605. Okay. We've had a lot of people.
Jay Solano. Shout out Jay Solano.
Shout out Jay Solano. What's up, Jay? Like he was on our podcast and
He's from Pico.
Yeah, he's from Pico. Yeah, what a trip.
Yeah, I have a lot of family there. Family from Pico. Well, I have a big family, but half of the family's in NorCal, half the family's in SoCal. But a lot of cousins. And
we got
family
another
out
Bay
here.
Area.
I
girl.
know. I did
Yeah.
read something about that. You're from the Bay.
Yes.
San
From
Jose.
East Side San Jose.
East
East
side.
side.
Yes.
Is there? I mean, why? What's on the other side of the east side? I just.
There's a north side.
Yeah.
There's
But,
some
let's be
geography here.
Okay, go for it. Bring it
east
down.
Side,
East side.
San Jose.
No,
Why?
East Side
though?
San Jose's, there's a lot of culture, a lot of what you experience in the East Side you wouldn't experience in different areas. Everybody has their own experience. So if you're from the East Side, you know what that experience is about. And, just people, culture, neighborhoods.
Most of your life has been. Well, you grew up straight up in San Jose.
Yep.
Everything is in San Jose.
Everything's in San Jose, East Side San Jose.
I have family in San Jose. I just don't know if they're in the east side or is there
Yeah,
north side?
see?
You know
is
the
there west
street they're
side?
on?
No.
No?
It's been a long time since I've been up there. But yeah, they're
Yeah,
from
I-
San Jose.
Yeah.
We
San
were-
Jose is big. San Jose is bigger than San Francisco.
Yeah, it's huge, right?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Like square miles. San Francisco's just a little bit. It's compact.
Oh, yeah.
It's very condensed.
Yeah.
Really condensed.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of LA too when you get into San Francisco.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot more hills, and that's a trip.
Yes.
But yeah, it's
Scary
definitely
to drive in
different.
San
At night,
Francisco.
it's
Oh,
crazy over there. It's like
wild.
Waymos and guys in fentanyl freezes. Like no,
Yes.
it's not. I mean, it's
Yes.
the truth. I'm not even
Oh my God,
I wish I
it's
could make
wild.
that up. Like
Yeah,
it's
no.
Waymos and like a bunch of guys in fentanyl freezes.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like. It tripped me out
It's
because we were out there in
too
April,
common, it's
my
sad.
wife and I, and I was looking around. I was like, "This is insane!" At 2:30 in the morning, and you could just see dudes just like frozen, and then
That's
a
wild.
freaking Waymo just passing right by. You're like, "What is going on?" Like nobody in the car. So what a
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah.
How was it like growing up in San Jose?
I loved it. I mean, it's all I knew, right? I loved it. I love my neighborhood, the people I grew up with. I'm friends today with people I went to kindergarten with, right?
Oh, cool.
Okay, so you still stay in touch with people
I
that
do.
far back.
Yeah, I do. And we see them all the time. Like if I'm in San Jose, I go to a store, I go to an event for my nieces or my nephew. I always see people I grew up with, and you just know them, and they know me. They know my family. My parents live in the same house.
They're
so-
still there.
Still,
Yeah,
to this
so
day.
so
I
they'll
love
pass
that.
by and they'll be like, "Oh, I said hi to your mom and dad." I'm like, "Yes."
Love that.
Okay, so both your parents are still here.
Yes.
That's awesome.
yes, they
Neighborhood
are.
stuff.
Yeah.
I love that.
And then my parents are just really good at welcoming people into the home. So if someone didn't have anywhere to go for Thanksgiving or Christmas, they welcome them into our home.
Oh, wow.
So like they were
Okay.
the family that like my friends will never forget. They stop by to say hi to my parents even though I'm not even living there anymore, right? It's just that type of neighborhood.
You know what? We us as parents now, we try to do that with our kids, especially like
You
with
do?
our daughter right now. We try to be very
Oh,
welcoming.
that's really cool.
Where
Yeah.
her friends really like us just because we're very open with them. We don't try to act like Mr. Rojo or whatever.
Oh my God.
No,
I know.
It's I try to say what's up, like what's going on, like
Yeah,
tell me about
right?
all that.
Mr.
Very
Rojo.
open. And a lot of her friends have been very open about telling us some of their personal things that have gone on in their,
Oh yeah.
so it's
They feel safe with you.
yeah.
That's cool that
exactly
your
it.
parents
So
are like that.
Yeah.
That's
What-
where I want to be one day.
Yeah.
Yes.
What would
the
your-
go-to house.
Oh yeah.
The go-to house.
Yeah.
Yeah, see
That-
we were the
safe
same
house,
way
like,
too.
You
Like
just feel good and loved,
yeah, my family too, and my kids best friends call us like parents 1 and 2 now. Like, you know, we're
Parents
like
1 and 2.
you're like our parents. Our second parents are like, oh, okay, that's cool. I mean,
Aw.
it's a compliment. We'll take it, you know, because they were around us a lot. So, you
Yeah.
know, we were like, whatever, that's fine, you know. And
Yeah.
and then, you know, you grow up in neighborhoods like that and you like to create that, you know, like, come
Yeah.
on over and hang out. We could eat, we can hang out, you know, and it's the
Right.
thing, like, you know, you never even think about like when they grow up. Like, in fact, my daughter's friend just had a baby, and we're like, oh my
Whoa.
God, like, you know, it really sat
I
into
still
me. I'm
remember
like,
that friend.
I'm old, like, you know what I mean? Like, my daughter's friend just had a baby, like that little girl
Yeah.
since kindergarten. How you were saying, like, you
Yeah.
know them since kinder. What a
Right,
trip.
right.
In San Jose, is there like, you know, like in their neighborhoods, like in East
Yeah.
LA, like their neighborhoods, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? There are sectors. Like, what would be your like neighborhood area? What would be
King and Story, King and Tully.
King and
I
Tully?
mean, if you say
King
that,
and-
people know
King
what that
and
Okay,
means.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
King and Tully.
Oh.
King
Tully.
and Story.
King and
Okay.
Tully. King and Story. Okay. All right.
Yeah, where all the cruising used to happen, all like on King and Story.
That's where
And
Johnny
then
was
the
probably
next
at.
big one.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
Was yeah, well, also downtown Santa Clara Street.
Mhm.
So,
Nice.
but yeah, I'm from East Side, King and Story, King and Tully.
Nice.
Okay.
Did you ever get mixed up with any of the neighborhood stuff because it was around?
No,
No.
no.
Pretty
Yeah.
pretty
Stay to
clear.
yourself.
Yeah.
Pretty stay to yourself.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, it
okay.
was around, of
of
course.
course. Yeah.
Yeah, my parents would not.
Strict.
Would
Really?
not
They were
let
strict?
that happen. Yeah. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Do you have brothers and
My dad was very strict. Oof, my dad was strict.
brother and sisters?
Yeah, I have siblings. Yeah, I have an older sister, a younger brother, and a baby sister. But my dad. I tell people this story. My dad, like, he was really strict with me. With
Really?
Me.
And what
He
about
was
the
strict with
other?
my siblings too, right? But he like, I don't know, ever since I was little, he always kept me to a higher standard.
Maybe he saw
Okay.
something different in you.
And
All
so
right.
he always like expected more of me, right? So it was good and bad. Good because I probably did more in my life because he pushed me, but also bad because then I was always trying to earn like his approval, right?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So, but for example, like in middle school, if I got all A's and 1 B, I would get in trouble for that 1 B.
In trouble for a B?
Yes, but my
Oh,
sister
man.
could get D's and
Whatever.
F's, and it was like,
Yeah.
she's trying her best. She's
Oh,
trying.
my
I was
God.
like, wait, why am I in trouble? I don't get it. He's like, because you're better than that.
Right.
You know you can get an A.
He
but
wasn't
you didn't.
setting himself up for to be disappointed. Because
Yeah.
if it was you, though, he's like, oh, what happened? Where did we go wrong?
Yeah, I
Like,
was just like, he's like, well, what? I was like, I don't know why I got a B, Dad. I don't know.
the
It was just-
pressure.
Yeah.
But I think those are the things that shape you as a child, right? So
For
then
sure.
when you know I got out into school in the real world, it was more like, no, I'm better. I can do better. I can do better. I can do better than that. I can just keep trying and get better. And so it was weird that, I mean, I couldn't understand it as a kid, but now I get it. He just saw potential and he was pushing me through.
Was
that
it a
potential.
Spanish speaking household?
Not really. They spoke Spanish to each other. My parents spoke
Okay.
Spanish to each other. And I mean, it was hard. My parents grew up in an era where when you went to school, you would get hit for speaking Spanish.
Okay.
Oh,
you would
wow.
get punished.
Yeah,
They would put you in a corner with a dunce hat.
So then they were born here.
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom was born in Texas. My dad was born in Corcoran, California.
Okay.
And yeah, there's a lot of discrimination and racism,
Oh, yeah.
and you know, they suffered in school, and so they couldn't talk in Spanish. They could only talk in English, and so you were punished if you spoke Spanish.
No. Wow,
And
no.
so
I know,
they were
right?
afraid for us that, oh my God, we don't want this for our children. So they wanted to make sure we learned English first and then teach us
Yeah.
Spanish, after, so
Yeah.
that we weren't stuck in those situations. But by then things had changed, right? You can't hit a kid for speaking
Yeah.
Spanish
Right.
now.
That sounds a lot how my grandmother was. She wouldn't teach us Spanish because she didn't want us to have that difficulty getting jobs and sound different than all the other kids. And they, but now, like, little do they know that it would backfire, because now if you're bilingual, you know,
Yes, it's a plus.
yeah, like it's
Yes.
like a, you know, it's a skill, you know, to
Yeah.
have an additional language
yeah.
attached to
Absolutely.
you.
You get paid a
know?
little more.
Oh, you get paid a
Yeah.
lot more. Yeah, now
Yeah.
these days, right? Like, and like that opens up to what the career that you follow as an actress. You can open up your roles in English and Spanish, so that that gives you more of a wider platform, I assume.
Right.
Right.
But most of the stuff I do is in English. It's just the roles are representing our stories, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, man. So San Jose, and tell us a little bit, like, I mean, you know, you went to school out there, like the high school stuff, and you know, I read that you you went to college. Did you go to college out there,
did.
or okay,
No,
down
I
here?
went to college, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo.
Oh, slow. Okay.
But that was a culture shock because imagine growing up in Eastside San Jose, right? All you see is color, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
okay, yeah.
brown
San
and
Luis.
black and Asian, everybody.
Culture.
And it's culture, right? And then I went to San Luis Obispo.
So
It
totally
was-
different over there.
It was a culture shock. And I didn't even know what that word or that term meant
Until you went.
until I went there. And I was like, oh my God, nobody here looks like me. Nobody.
It was just different.
She was like,
you were
this is
the
probably what culture shock means.
you were the
I was
outcast.
I was like looking for brown people everywhere. Like, where's the brown person? Like,
You were
I
it.
don't see anybody, right? It was like, oh my God, it was a culture shock immediately.
Wow.
And then I didn't realize that my world, my bubble, which was Eastside San Jose, I didn't
Yeah.
realize that the outside world wasn't like Eastside
Yeah.
San Jose. I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
everybody's like us, right?
Of course.
Like this is my world. And then you take you out and put you in a new one, and it's not even diverse. Man, I was shocked.
College kind of pushed you out there,
It
like it
did.
just exposed you.
It did. I got really homesick. Really homesick. Oh, my sophomore year, I got homesick. I called my dad and I said, Dad, I can't take this anymore. I want to go home. I want to go home, right? He's like, nope, you're not coming home.
Damn.
He's like,
Yeah,
you
that's
decided to go.
Hell yeah.
Oh, wait, you're going to stay there
Sorry.
and you're going to get through it and you're going to be fine. This is just a moment. You're going to get through it. It's fine. And then, yeah, it was just a period of time where I was just
for
homesick,
your
but I got
dad.
through it. And I worked out. It all worked out. I graduated. It was all good.
What'd you get your degree on?
Business administration,
Business
which focusing on concentrating on marketing and management.
Okay.
Nice. Is that what you do regularly now? Like would you say you're 9 to 5?
Yeah, it is kind of.
Yeah.
It is kind of. I'm a senior director for a client services department for a tech education company for kids. That's my day job. But I didn't want to major in business. I wanted to major in acting.
Oh, so you
And my-
drama and
Yeah.
and theater
In
and the fine
theater
arts.
and all of it. But my dad said absolutely not. He's like, I'm not paying for my daughter to go to
No
college
way.
to do the arts. He's like, you need to do something practical so that you
Right.
can support yourself. He's like, I don't want you to be a starving artist. Sure, you want to do art, that's fine, but I'm not going to pay for you to go to school to do art. Do something practical, and then you can do art after you graduate.
So acting has always been a part of you, but you
Yes.
just weren't allowed to do it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. That
And
was
Maybe
it.
but were you able to do it at some point during
Yeah.
while you were growing up?
Yeah, in middle school and high school and
Okay.
college. In college.
Oh, so you
too.
did do it in college too?
Yeah, I did.
Did your dad know?
He did know, but I didn't do it as a part of the curriculum. I did it as extracurricular activity. So I was teatro, Chicano teatro. So
Okay.
we were a Chicano theater group, and we just got to. It wasn't a part of the school. We just got together and we wrote our own scripts and we put up plays. We helped mentor younger kids in high school. I also worked for Upward Bound, so I was a tutor for Upward Bound.
I know about Upward
Yeah.
Bound.
Wow.
The Upward Bound. Jesus.
Yes. And we
Tongue-tied.
were helping kids, tutor them for their homework and everything. But then we also taught them acting. We taught them how to write a script and how to perform on stage. So I was
Interesting.
helping kids do that while I was in college, even though I had my coursework, right?
Right.
It was
Right.
just like an extracurricular activity. So it was fun.
And so
It was a lot
right
of
now
fun.
your line of job right now is working with youth.
Kids.
It kind of led up to that then,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's wild.
It
I
did.
mean, kind of
Yeah.
a turn, not a turn of events, but like something that like towards your degree, like would come to fruition
Right.
like that. I was like, wow, that's what I do
It
now.
all came full circle,
I know, right?
Even though my dad didn't let me
He's like,
major
"Nah."
in acting. He's like,
And you got your acting career.
But it worked out because he goes, when you're done, when you graduate, you'll have a job and then you could pay for yourself to go back to school and act, and you will always have a job.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because you got a way to make money. Because I mean, the acting
You
can
gotta support
I mean,
your
you
art.
know, yeah. What if you? I mean, what if you do an amazing role that does really really well,
Yes.
and it pays out, and you're like, all right, that was cool, like it worked out, but
then
when that goes away,
then you still have
what's
to support
next?
yourself.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
some people don't think like that though.
Yeah.
People are like, no, I'm only gonna focus on that. It's like, well, you got it all wrong because
Right.
that's not the way
That
it
would
works.
be like us focusing just primarily on this.
Well, I mean,
You
we
know?
have other things going too,
We
but
got
we still
a lot
got
of other things
regular
going on.
jobs. But like the thing is, you figured out a way to like
I
have
balanced it,
yes,
right?
your
I figured
career.
out to balance it. I could support myself. I'm not hungry. I could pay my rent. Like, I'm good.
But
I'm
you
really
still
good.
are a starving artist in some way
Yeah,
because
there
you
is.
know
in
of
some
that.
in some regards, but I don't mind because I don't act for like the fame or the money. I act because it
your
makes my soul
passion?
happy
Yeah.
to tell the stories of the human condition. It brings me joy and purpose to share these stories. So that gives me my purpose. That's purpose enough, and I feel really good. And if things work out and things come in abundance because of the work that I do as an actor, then that's great.
Right.
But I'm not doing it for that. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
doing it for
it's
my
something
heart,
that I've been
my
told
soul.
too. Something that I've been told too, and I'm kind of paraphrasing. Is like, don't go doing it expecting to make money out of
Yes.
Out the gate,
You know?
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
do it because you love it.
Yes.
Eventually, it'll work out. It'll work
Yeah.
itself out.
Yeah, when
Always.
you teach the kids like the act, you know, some ways of acting, and like when you were, you know, instructing some of the kids,
Mm-hmm.
what are some of the things that they're like interested in, like to learn, like, you know, because I don't know, I don't act, like he's done some stuff, and like, and I know actors, you know, I know a few actors in Hollywood, and but what are some of the kids like at that age are like, what is their, you know, their interests?
Well, I think a lot of them need an outlet. So it's just a way to express themselves so that they have permission to express themselves. And I think that's why I became an actor too. And a lot of people become actors is because there's some actors are in a lot of pain. Right. And so kids, when you're experiencing things like maybe you're being bullied in school or you have a tough home life, how do you express that pain when nobody's giving you permission to do so?
Yeah, no doubt.
And then so when they're on stage, if they're writing something that's going on at home or writing about their pain or anger or just things that are happening in their lives, they might write something that's funny, but it's releasing that pain in a certain way. Or they might, you know, want to perform something that gives them permission to scream and cry, that you don't have permission to cry about your feelings if somebody doesn't tell you you can do this. If you're in a role and you're like, this woman, this man cries, or this you know, kid cries, then they're giving themselves permission to express themselves.
Very cool. And they obviously they come out to you to, you know, to express themselves with you.
Yeah.
Because we met Cindy. Remember Cindy? She would go out. She was a photographer in like what was it, Compton, right?
It's at the
Jordan Downs
Projects.
Jordan Downs projects, right? Which is like it's, you know, it's the worst of all the projects. And she did like photography classes for kids, and we were like so intrigued by it. We're like, wow, I'm like, that's kind of cool. Like these youngsters are like, well, I'm interested in that. Like, it's just, you don't see a lot of that. And another person made a really good point. Johnny Murillo brought up that there's not enough people teaching like the younger kids
Yes. Yeah.
how to do these things.
Yes.
And you were already doing that, and you know, and now
Yeah.
part of your job now too, you do that as well, and you are a working actress.
Actor. Yeah.
You know,
actress,
actress.
we
Sorry,
were talking about
yeah.
that earlier. Both.
I'd imagine.
difference.
I mean, I'd imagine now your dad's probably pretty proud of it. You know, he's probably
Oh,
like,
God,
maybe
my
I should have.
dad's very
Let's
proud
go
of
ahead
it.
and do some.
I'm sure
Yeah.
he is.
You know,
Yeah,
some more
he's very
acting in
proud.
college and stuff. You
I'm
know?
sure he takes a lot of pride in you.
Yeah, he does. He
Yeah,
does.
does
does.
your brother and your sisters? They're all about it. They see your work a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. 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 It's tough. I mean, this last film that I made, it was tough for the family to process though, because it was personal, right?
Personal to you or to everybody?
It was
including
personal
the
to
family?
me. It was personal to me, but it involves, you know, our family. And it sometimes people don't want to talk about the pain, and you suppress. We're taught as a
Yeah,
culture
to
to
suppress
suppress it.
Bury it.
Don't talk about it.
Yep.
You know, you're fine. You're
Yep.
fine. Get over it, right? And I think that you have to be brave enough to talk about the pain so that you can address it and heal it, right? And that's what I feel like. It was a little bit of I mean, they didn't say this. I just know that it's just hard to watch something and you're like, ouch, that hurts, because it's a mirror, right? And so, but yeah, my family's proud. My family's super proud of me and supportive. My mom, my dad, my siblings, they're
Very
all
cool.
supportive. My cousins.
Do you go up there? Do you go home often just to go and check
I
in?
do.
Yeah.
I'm sure
I do.
you do.
I go. It's funny. I think I went this summer, maybe like 4 times this summer.
Damn,
alone.
you do go up there.
Yeah.
Like when you hear people like when they're from somewhere else and they're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I don't really go. I mean,
I
sometimes
go every now and then.
Yeah.
every Christmas.
you're
like,
going
once.
I go often. I go for my nieces, my brothers. I went last for my brother's birthday. We went to see the Peritos World Tour. So Concrete, Jerry Garcia.
Okay, yeah.
And Duno's we're in San Jose at the Improv. So I treated my brother and his wife for their birthdays. And then I went because Jerry Garcia, the comedian, he plays
Yeah.
my husband in King of Downey, which was a pilot sitcom, like kind of like Modern Family, but for a Chicano family.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And so I was the wife. Jerry's my husband. Concrete's his friend. It's hilarious. Johnny Murillo wrote it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
Johnny
I
wrote
know
that?
exactly which
Yeah.
one you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
No
I
way.
I saw a trailer to it.
Yeah.
I did see a trailer to it.
I'll share it with
when
you
we
all.
had
Yeah.
we had Johnny. Prior to having Johnny, I did see a couple of his trailers, and one of them was that one.
That's cool.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
King
I know
of
which one
Downey.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
That
So then
is
I was
really
like, "Hey,
cool.
hubby, we're coming out to watch your show, you and Concrete." And Concrete's like, "Yeah, let's meet up afterwards." And we got some pictures in the green room after with them. So
That's cool.
it was good. It was
When
a
you're
good
back-
time in San Jose.
When you're back at home, do you get recognized by other people? Like when you're in San Jose, or is it just
Well, by my friends, because I grew
yeah.
up with them,
Well,
right?
yeah,
So I
yeah.
know them, and you know, I know everybody in my neighborhood, like the places that we go. If we go to like a car show, or I mean, my film was screening up there at the Santa Clara Fairgrounds this summer,
cool.
just in August. So of course, when I go there, I see everybody that I know, my friends and family, and just supporters. You know, everybody's. I mean, man, I friends from elementary, middle school, high school. I always run into them, and then you know, we talk, we catch up, and it's really good. It's really good.
I ran into somebody today from junior high. I was like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" Yeah, and it was awkward and like, that was
yeah?
it.
I'm gonna blame that
That was
all
it.
on you.
That was it.
I'm just kidding.
I kept it pushing. Like, I don't know. I'm just
You don't know what to say.
yeah.
Yeah.
No?
I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love
But that's
it.
cool. I mean,
I mean,
you have a different.
I dig
It's
it.
a
vibe.
different up.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I think it's the neighborhood. I don't know. I just
Yeah,
maybe,
probably.
maybe.
we keep in touch and we see
There was
each other.
closeness in that
Yeah,
neighborhood.
because how
Yeah.
long have your parents been at your house? Is it the house you grew up in?
Yeah, we didn't live there at first. We moved there when I was little. But many years. I don't know.
A couple
Many
decades.
years. Yeah, at least.
Oh yeah, see, so like that's
Yeah.
rooted stuff right there, you know.
Yeah.
Like like your family and everybody knows who you are. Like
Yeah.
it's like a small like neighborhood. When you're like, there's 5 million people in the city. You're like, but why does it feel like there's 5 people in the city and I
Right.
know exactly who everybody is and I
Right.
see them all the time. You know, it's
Yeah.
so weird
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
that is, and that's why they always say it's such a small world.
I want to dive into your short film that you shared with me. It's called Addicted to You. And before we get into that, I know that you had mentioned to me, because we were going back and forth on DMs, and you mentioned that this is actually your first time back from doing any Q&As, any interviews.
Yes.
And it's been over a year and a half because you were really trying to find yourself and just doing a lot of deep soul searching and just healing. You're trying to heal yourself. And some of that stems from what was in that film, correct?
Absolutely.
So-
That film was so the film was my way of processing my grief for all the years that I spent in that relationship and all the pain that I was stuck with. So I made the film because I'm an artist, I'm a actress, and I needed to do something with all that pain that was living inside of me. It was grief of a very, we were on and off for over 20 years.
20. That's a
Yeah.
long
20
time.
years, but never
Over
never
20
married.
years, never married.
Never married?
Never married, no.
Was there,
We were high school sweethearts.
Oh.
Met when we were 12 in middle school.
Wow,
Had
so
crushes on each other. And
You've
then we
known
did-
him since he was 12.
Since I was 12, yeah. I've known him since I was 12.
Up in San
Yes,
Jose.
Up in San Jose in Eastside.
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
And then we got together when I was 16. He was 16 turning 17, and then it was just on and off for many years. I mean, we were together most of it, but it was just on and off. And then when it ended, it was I mean the whole relationship was me being codependent and then so addicted to him, right? And then he was dealing with his own, his own darkness,
battles,
his own demons,
Yep.
his own demons, and of addiction, and I was there. And so when it ended, I mean, it was hard when it ended because we had been on and off. We had broken up, gotten back together, and really, I think the catalyst of leaving was his mom. His mom sitting me down and talking to me and just saying, you know what, he's just not, like, basically, to summarize it, his mom just said, you have to go. You're
too much.
You have to go.
For him.
I'm sorry?
You were too much for him?
No.
You just have to go because it's not good for him?
No, she's telling me it's not healthy for me to stay.
For you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because so if you look at the short film, a lot of it it shows like him saying he'll change, but there's no change, and he continues to beg to just let him change, but it doesn't change, and it's just a cycle that just keeps.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's all it was. It was back and forth,
same cycle.
The same thing, the same repeating behaviors, and there was hope. I hoped we would get married. I'd hoped that there would be change. I hoped that things would work out, but I could keep hoping, and it just And so I think just that I think it was a good conversation because I was in so much pain, but to get permission to say you can take care of yourself now, like you should go. Wow. And I mean that was like it was the release that I needed to, like, the chains to be like
I'm done.
Yeah. I always knew it, but it was like I couldn't just walk away. It was so hard. And now I get it because I did a lot of processing of why I couldn't leave. But I mean, that helped me, of course. And then I made the film to process, to alchemize that pain that I went through. But then after we promoted it and we released it and I'm doing all these podcasts, I'm still talking about it, right?
Yeah.
And the whole reason why I did the film was so that I can process that grief and that pain. And then I start talking about it on podcasts and interviews and Q&As. And then I felt like I'm never going to heal from this if I keep on bringing it up. I felt like I was picking at a scab. And every time I felt like I was making some movement, some positive, healthy, like, growth and healing, I would just talk about it again. And then I get emotional and then I pick the scab. And so then I stopped. I just stopped. I said, I'm not doing any more interviews or Q&As. I can't. I just need to look inward and heal. Like, I need to process this. And so I took about 1.5 years off of any podcasts or interviews or trying to talk about it on a surface level. And I went inward and I had to do a lot of, healing, a lot of healing.
So obviously there was a lot of battles. There was a lot of, how would I say, just a lot of turmoil that was going on in this relationship. I know you mentioned addiction. Mm-hmm. He had an addiction problem.
Yes. Yeah. He was an alcoholic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like every day, like just getting drunk and.
No, it was a different kind. And this is the hardest thing to understand, especially for me, and to describe to people. He was, and I'm not trying to romanticize the relationship. It was good and it was bad. Right? But when he was there, it was good. He was kind. He was respectful. Just helped me be a better person. Accepted me completely as I am. And we had this, what I know now from being able to understand it, we had a trauma bond. And so he went through trauma, I went through trauma, and we were able to bond with each other. And that's why it became like an inseparable relationship where we trusted each other so much in our trauma that, like, it was our safe space, each other. So when he was there, it was great. Everything was good. He was really good to my family, really good to my brother. He was like his older brother, really good to us. And then he would disappear.
So it seemed like his trauma got to him more than your trauma would get to you,
Yeah.
because you at least stayed grounded and tried to do everything possible to like make this relationship work. Whereas he allowed his trauma to still, it allowed him to still dwell in it and lead to the alcohol.
He would numb it with alcohol. Yeah. And the thing is, when he was there, there's a scene in the film where we're at the quince and he didn't show up, right? So it were things like that where you're supposed to be somewhere and all of a sudden...
That really happened?
It did, but in a different way.
Okay.
But yeah, like you're supposed to be somewhere important.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just don't show up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And everybody's asking me, where is he at? He's supposed to be here. Where I don't know. And then you think like, how could you not be here at such an important event?
Right.
And feel let down by not just like everyone was looking at me like, well, where is he? I don't know. Right. And then he would disappear for days, nobody knew where he was at. And
literally
then,
disappear for days?
Yeah.
Without any connection or any, I don't know, communication with you whatsoever?
Yeah. Nobody knew where he was, his parents,
just
family,
gone.
and nobody would just disappear. And so when he came back, it wasn't like he said, this is where I was at, this is what I did. It was just like,
Well, I'm back now.
Yeah.
Let's pick up
Just
where we
like
left
the
off.
film.
Very curious.
Yeah.
I mean, he would disappear for days, but didn't would he report to his job?
Yeah, he would not show up to work and, just
Damn.
like disappear, right? So in my mind, I was like, well, I can't be mad at him. I want to make sure he's alive.
Yeah.
So I'm going to call the hospitals. I'm going to call the jails and see,
Yeah.
where
Yeah, because you're
is he at?
concerned.
So how can I be mad at him unless I know he's okay?
Right. But
then
still,
once you know he's okay, then you can be.
Yes. And then I can be upset.
Then you'd be upset, yeah. And,
But I can't be upset until I know he's okay.
No, yeah.
Right?
I did tell her this, that in that part, one of the parts of that film, it reminded me a lot of what I was going through with my wife because of my alcoholism, where it was like I was telling her I can change, but it's like, how many more times are you going to tell me you're going to change? And
I keep
you're
repeating
not
the cycle.
changing. And I kept repeating the same cycle.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't until, where I finally got that intervention. That's that's what kind of woke me up. But that's for another story. But
Yeah.
I just bring it up because it resonated so much while my wife and I were watching it. And just like, we looked at each other. I'm like, and I said, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's me. And his name was Danny.
Yeah. What a trip.
And after this film, and this is, again, my purpose in sharing the stories of the human condition. This isn't just my story. This is stories of the women in our generation and our families that go through very, very, deep things that they don't talk about, right? And you just don't talk about it. You just get over it, and then everything's fine. Next party, next family event. And so in being able to face that this has happened and I'm not in that relationship anymore, but now I need to ask the questions why. Because someone had asked me, why didn't you leave?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that I mean, people ask that a lot too. Yeah, why didn't you leave?
So
but that's
I
got to be
couldn't
hard.
even answer that question.
I feel like
I couldn't answer it because I didn't know why.
Right.
And then in my healing, like I've been to therapy, I've really looked inward to truly understand my behavior and why. Can I even answer that for myself? Why didn't I leave? And now I can say why, right? But also the flip side of it too is, addictions are really numbing the pain of something. Sometimes people know what that pain is, sometimes they don't. But it's about numbing, right?
Or you just enjoy that person still, the dopamine behind it, maybe just like or the security blanket, the safety. Like, oh, that person's gonna be there, and I'm gonna keep doing it, and I'm gonna keep doing what I gotta do, and he's gonna keep what he's gotta do, but we're still gonna be there, and it's gonna be comfortable.
Right.
Awkward for a little bit, a little bit of back and forth arguments, but still, I have that little security blanket. I'm okay.
Because they say, if you're familiar with something, even though it's unhealthy for you, that's where you stay.
Yeah.
But if something healthy comes along and that's not familiar, that makes you uncomfortable.
Right.
That's very true.
So then you stay in the comfortable, unhealthy, because that's what's familiar.
Staying with him, do you think it had to do with, when we look back at some of our like family members, especially like our tios and our tias who stood together, even though
for a
that
long
tio
time
was like a drunk, a wife beater, but that woman stayed solid throughout the whole time. You think a lot of it had to do with that, or just
Absolutely. I feel like, and that's what I witnessed, right? And so if I'm witnessing this in our own families, how am I going to walk away from it thinking, I think I'm a failure for walking away and giving up? Because if I see these other women in my life, in our family who, stay and power through it, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to stay in this. I'm going to try harder. And that was me then, right? And I know I'm understanding why I stayed. And it's because I was seeing that. I was saying, I'm not going to give up on this relationship. I'm going to keep trying. But it was never for me to try about. It was for me to learn from. And now I'm out of that. And now I've been through years of healing post that relationship. Now I can understand it was a lesson in me breaking the cycle. I don't have to do what my family has done for generations. I can break the cycle, and also I can learn to love myself, because a lot of why I stayed and why I was addicted to and codependent in that relationship was because I was trying to earn his love and I didn't love myself.
That's crazy.
And so now I know that.
Right. But you didn't know it then.
Yeah, I didn't know it then. So why didn't I leave? Because I didn't even know that I had permission to love myself. Yeah. Right?
You just had to do it. Like,
yeah,
step out
I thought
on
it
your
was
own.
earning love. Be a good partner, and then he'll stay, right? And that
wasn't it.
No, it wasn't. It was, I think God in this relationship, as I look back, it was a lesson that it kept coming back to me. Why do we break up and make up for over 20 years? Why? Because I never loved myself. And I had to get to a point where, like, Sonia, you don't need his approval. You don't need validation. You are lacking love for yourself, Sonia. And once I turned it inward, I was like, I'm love. I don't need to earn it. I don't need to, validate it by I just need to love myself. And then I can show up in a relationship whole.
That was a major step for you. I'm
Big
thinking
time.
it had to
Big
be a
time.
huge step for you to go that way. And the movie that we're talking about is called Addicted to You. You can see it for free on YouTube on Echo's World. It's called Addicted to You with Sonia Balcazar. And you can it's pretty intense. It's about 18 minutes. It's a short film. We'll put the link below down here on our YouTube channel for sure. And it's intense. There is a scene in there about midway through. You guys are in the living room. And I mean, it turns into a fight and then into making love.
An
intimate scene. Was that also one of those things where you saw a lot of that even in your own personal experience, and was like, maybe was that another security thing where it was like, well, I don't know, we're going to argue and I know we're going to make love after this and it's going to be all said and done and we're going to be fine.
The truth is that part of the film was added.
Okay.
Because
I was going to say, I never had that.
Yeah.
No?
I was thrown out.
I think my wife. I think I've had it a few times with my wife. Yeah, I mean, we argument into like, I don't know.
But that
was
situation
added.
was
It
just worse than probably your argument.
Oh yeah,
It was like, since it's the sensationalized part of like dramatizing a script, right?
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that wasn't a part of our relationship, but it was added to elevate the drama in the film.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, the film is fictional.
Right.
Because I don't have a daughter. We weren't married.
For sure.
And
you don't have no kids?
No.
Okay.
And my ex didn't lose his mom, but in the film he did, right? So there's all these things. It's a fictional film, but it was birthed from all of my pain and the pain of the women that I know in my life that experienced
something like that.
Addiction, some type of addiction, whether it be drugs or alcohol, and codependency, and us as women staying. Right. Or letting them come back, or going back, right?
You have a lot of film cred. I did take a look at your resume on a few things that you have out there. Of course, you're on your IDBM. There's IMDb. There's some listings on there, and but I did see some other stuff too on there.
By the way, shout out to Jesse Borrego on that.
Oh yeah, that was a trip too. But I saw that you have a ton of work that you've done prior, probably to this. I'm assuming. But I gotta ask, when you did a scene that was that intimate, how were you comfortable with that? Like, I mean, like, where do you get to that point in acting as an actress,
Right.
and say, I could do that scene?
It's a good question because I mean, you think about it, you're like, that's hard. How do you let a camera in the room like that, right?
For sure.
That was the first time I had ever done a scene like that, and believe me, I was scared. I was like, I'm not, pretty modest when it comes to stuff like that. Like I don't want to be, shown in an intimate scene.
Yeah.
Forever on a film
Yeah.
that anybody could technically watch, right?
Which you can see now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Right.
that's, I'm always curious to ask
Right.
somebody,
But-
even on a male perspective too. Like, how, I mean,
Shout out.
There's a lot of questions to ask an actor
Yeah.
and an actress because, such scenarios like that.
Yeah. Shout out to the director,
okay.
LV. He directed the film and then Echo's World, right? He was a cinematographer. Those two talked to me and asked me like it's going to be safe. We're going to have all the crew is going to exit the room. The crew's not going to be here. They're going to be outside in the living room. You're safe. If you want to stop, you stop. Like anything that feels uncomfortable, you let us know. And so having LV and Echo's World, that made me feel confident and comfortable, right?
That's
I knew I was in a
awesome.
safe space.
They're good at what they do.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So
so I had clothing on. They just made it look like I didn't. And so it was actually very, I mean, it's like trick camera work and all that
Right.
stuff. So it made me feel safe. And then the actor that plays my husband, Anthony L. Fernandez, he was very, what is the word? Sensitive to the situation as well, to make sure that
good.
I was safe, to make sure I felt safe, and comfortable.
So you
And
had
I
a good
think-
crew.
Yes,
with the support.
it's about the crew.
Right.
Yeah. And then Bernice Valle was in the other room with the monitor. She's one of the associate producers in it. She's from the streets to the set.
Yeah, which I think we're supposed to have.
Yeah,
on.
she's coming on soon too.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking with her pretty soon.
Yeah, so she was in the other room with the monitor as well. And so I felt safe in the people that were surrounding me that day. But they did ask a lot of people to leave. Like, okay, you guys got to
Well,
go
yeah. That's
and
cool.
clear it out,
Yeah.
So it felt safe. And we got it done like so fast. I was like, okay, that's it. He's like, we're good. We got it. I was like,
Damn.
nice. All right, we're done.
Wow.
That's a trip, yeah. Because I mean, looking at that scene, that intense scene in the living room where you guys are yelling at each other, and it leads into that, and then I'm like, okay, that's uncomfortable, but but then going into something like that, that's a different level of like, they always say actors and actresses usually have a very difficult time moving to that
Yeah.
part in their careers.
It was so passionate, right? I feel
Yeah.
like, okay, when you're angry and you're mad and then you're making up and you love each other, like there's definitely like this passion, this like we had this inseparable like we were magnets, like drawn to each other.
And especially for you because you were in that position.
Yeah.
So it felt like I can actually get right into this moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of cool that Jesse Borrego was your dad in this scene, like, and we have a picture of him in too. Annie pointed it out right here in a 3-piece studio, right over above us. But when I first started watching it, I'm like, where have I seen that guy before? And then it clicked. Yeah, Crucito. Like, yeah, that is pretty cool. Did you ever think you would do work with
No.
actors or actresses that you've known
That
growing
was
up?
actually on accident. I mean, not accident, but like it was a good challenge that we came across in making the film because we had cast another father, and that actor didn't work out. But it was so close to our shooting schedule that I was frantic looking for a replacement dad, and I was on another film shoot with Manny Jimenez on his project, and I met one of his actors on set, Tootie, and I was talking to him about finding a dad. We're gonna film pretty soon, and I need someone to play my dad. And he goes, well, why don't you ask Jaime, one of our friends? He's friends with Jesse Borrego. Jesse Borrego could play your dad. I was like, come on, Jesse Borrego from Blood In, Blood Out, play my dad. Like, I'm just gonna call him. He's like, no.
Hey, Crucito.
Yeah.
He's like, call Jaime. He lives in Hawaii. Call Jaime, and he knows him. He's friends with him. I'm like, okay. So that night I messaged him on Instagram and I said, hey,
Wow.
I'm trying to find a replacement dad for my film. And, I want to ask Jesse. And he goes, okay, I'll talk to him in the morning. And I'll let you know. He called me the next morning. It was a Sunday. And he goes, okay, I talked to Jesse. And he said, you got 30 minutes. And he scheduled a call for later that evening. You got 30 minutes. And he goes, I'll call you. We'll 3-way. You can pitch him the film. And then we'll see what he says. So then I think it was 7 o'clock that night, called him, got on the conference call. I told him this is a personal story and you would be playing my father. And there's a scene in there where my father tells me, Mija, the door's always open. You can always come home, which is what my dad told me when I was in my relationship.
Cool.
That's
and
cool.
and I said, this is personal to me. You'd be playing my father and represent what my father meant to me in this relationship and how I felt safe to come home. And he goes, okay, I'll read the script. Give me some time to read the script. I'll honor your story and I'll let you know. And so then I think maybe the next day or two, Jaime touched base and he said, yes, he would do it.
Wow.
I was crying.
That's pretty big.
Oh, I was
that
crying. Me and my cousin were in the hallway and I just started crying when I heard the news. I was
That's
like, Crucito
awesome.
Jesse Borrego, like, oh my God, like this actor is like an icon.
He is.
In like our Chicano history of filmmaking.
No, he really is.
And
like
he said yes to my short film to play my father. Like what?
Yeah.
It was amazing. I felt
That's so
like this
cool.
was such a big blessing.
Is there an opportunity where this might be a longer film?
Well, even Jesse loved the role. Like the night that we wrapped shooting and he pulled me aside and he goes, Mija, this is a great film. He goes, and he loved his role as a father in that, the positive, you turn your life around, right? And he was also an alcoholic who turned around.
Yeah.
And so, him being that positive role model, he wanted to continue that. So he said, if you ever want to make this into a series, I'll help you produce it. So I mean, there is opportunity for that. We haven't talked about that at this point, but I mean, people love the story and because it resonates with so many.
Honestly, like I said, it resonated with me and I feel like it only, you're not doing it. I feel like it needs justice. You need to do it justice by bringing,
like a full
making
film,
it
like a
full
film.
Yeah.
Yeah, a full feature film.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, if it's out there and somebody will pitch it or pay for it, why not?
And then if Jesse's on board,
yes,
right,
it'd be great. Yeah.
She told us everything about the Addicted to You short film, which is pretty awesome. And we talked a little bit before the interview that we were like that you wanted to read something with us, but we also want to hear more about this micro series that I read. I haven't seen it, but it's called Sabrina. But before we do talk about that, I want you told us you want to read us something, and that's different for us because we've never had anybody come and tell us I want to read something to you guys. We're like, well, okay, this sounds different. This is cool.
Yeah, you asked about, I didn't do interviews for about a year and a half.
Yeah.
And because I had to process the film and I was still healing, right? I'm still healing.
Of course.
But I feel like I've gotten to a place where I understand a lot of what I went through, the addiction that people go through, right? Addiction, codependency, and the aftermath, right? And how do you heal from that? And it's hard because you look at it and you're like, but why did these things happen to me? And I came across something that I read, and it's a little long, but bear with me. I think it's important. I think it's important. So
please do. Go for it.
They say that carrying the weight of our ancestors, the wounds they couldn't heal, the battles they couldn't win, the silence they were forced to keep. And maybe that's true. But what they don't tell you is this: your ancestors didn't just leave you their pain. They left you their strength, their resilience, their fire, the blueprint for healing buried beneath the scars. What does it mean to break a generational curse when the curse feels like it's a part of you? The anger you can't name, the fear you've never spoken, the choices that feel written before you were even born. But here's the truth. A curse is nothing more than an unhealed wound. A story that was never rewritten, a cycle waiting for someone brave enough to break it. So how do you heal what you didn't cause? How do you face the ghosts of the past when you live inside your bones? when they live inside your bones. You start by naming it, by telling the truth, even if it hurts. You name what was done to you, not to excuse it, but to release its grip. You start by listening to the whispers of the ones who came before you, to the truths they didn't get to speak. Not to carry their burdens, but to understand them, to see them for what they were, their fears, their struggle, their survival. And then you decide, this ends with me.
Nice.
That's right.
I love the of course this ends with me, because changing your predicament is always ends with you, right?
Yes.
But that's the hardest part, right?
Yeah.
Like you were saying in there, just getting to that point.
Right. And to name it and to admit it and to make it, because I feel like in our culture, we're taught to just suppress it,
All the
right?
time.
Like you don't talk about your family. You don't talk about what happens behind closed door. You don't talk about the pain, but we all go through it. And once you can name it, once you can be open and truthful and vulnerable about it, then you can start healing, right? But you got to stop at some point. You got to break that cycle. You got to break that curse. And I feel like a lot of us, I mean, I honor my family. I honor where I come from. I honor my ancestors, the women, the men, my whole life. But it does come with addiction. It does get passed down. We do see the bad things that get passed down. You know, as a kid, you watch something and then you are in your family with your kids. And then the same thing, the pattern repeats,
Right.
repeats. And then you have to say, I'm not going to do this to my kids. I'm not going to do this to my family. I'm going to be the one where it stops. It stops with me, right? And I feel like with this too, there's just so much. I feel like there's so much pain and there's so much like so many of these patterns that come from generation to generation, but there's also strength. And also they didn't have, like, I look at my mom or my grandmothers or my aunts and the women I know, they didn't have a voice, right? It's like you just deal with it. You just be a strong woman and deal with it, right?
Yeah.
And you're taught to suppress it. And I feel like there's all this pain that's been buried and carried from generation to generation, that we carry those wounds with us as we continue to grow. But we got to be able to heal it too. And we got to face it. And we got to say, you know what? I honor my ancestors. I honor the strength, because we wouldn't be here if they didn't survive everything that they went through. Right?
Do you
We
talk?
wouldn't be here.
Do you have that conversation with your mom and say your aunts now, like about opening up about things like that, because you're a little more bold and experienced. Your wisdom is different now. Do you have those conversations with them? Are they able to like talk about?
I don't
things
think
about
they're
that?
able. I don't think they're able to talk
Still
about
not now?
it. Still, yeah. And I've tried to have conversations, but we have to heal ourselves, but we're not responsible for other people's
For
healing.
sure.
And if they're not ready for that message, then they're not ready.
That's
and they
a
have to be open and ready for it.
Big
right?
part about being ready. A lot of people aren't ready. Nail on the head, like, or head on the nail, whatever. But a lot of people aren't ready to do those things.
Right.
It's hard.
For
hard.
sure, it's hard.
It took
Absolutely.
me years to be able to open up.
And how were
Years.
you able to do that though? Because you
This.
said, oh,
Yeah,
This-
we started
talking,
doing a lot
right?
of this,
Giving
talking
a
it out.
name,
This
speaking,
podcast.
Yeah.
the things that we're taught not
I
to
mean,
do.
I
Yeah.
never, I never mentioned about the fact that I almost wanted to take my life in 2023 until we had that interview with the Hood Footy.
Oh yeah,
think I saw
Alexander. Yeah,
That was actually the first time I openly said it.
yeah.
So, and it just from there, I was just like, you know what? The hell with it. Yeah, I'm gonna mention it because it might just help somebody out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the way I always see it now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it can help somebody, I'm just, I'm gonna lay it out there. I'm an open book.
Yep.
Rather than just closing in. There's still some things that are still hard to talk about.
I'm
but,
sure.
For the most part, yeah, it's because of this that it's just a lot.
And all the crazy
expressing it.
stories
And
that
then-
we've
and-
heard
yeah,
from
and just
other people.
being able
Yeah.
to relate to other people. It's kind of like, you know what? Let me share a little bit about me
Yeah.
because I relate to you.
Even our own director's story, Andy.
Oh yeah,
Like his stories, like when we got his story, we're totally thrown
yeah.
off
We were blown away because
by that him and his parents and what we know about him, and
I think both your
What-
parents took their own.
took their own
Lives,
lives,
right?
right? Yeah. So even that story over there with Andy, which we were thinking about, and we think about all the time. We talk about, I'm like, man, it really threw us for a loop because we're like, wow, like we did not see that at all because he
Yeah.
does so much for the community, and he doesn't wear that. He's always like, hey, what's up, guys, what's going on? I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You just don't see that, and it's like, okay, well, he was ready to let go of a lot of the stuff that he's been through, so
and you broke that curse.
he broke the curse. Right.
You're the one that broke the curse, and you're rewriting the story.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's what we're all doing. You're rewriting. We're all rewriting the story so that we're the brave ones to say
our
it
generation
ends with me.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a cool little piece.
Yeah. Okay. So shout out to Brendan Collinsworth. That's who wrote it.
Wait on, Brandon. All right, Brandon. That's cool.
I thought you had written it.
No.
Okay.
Brendan Collinsworth. So.
Yeah, I got you. Go ahead.
Let's see.
Yeah, you're up.
Now, one way that I dealt with my generational trauma, it's not a way that everyone should, but I had a mushroom experience.
Okay.
A mushroom experience.
Really?
I'm all for this.
Yeah, nah, seriously. Where I felt like my ancestors were with me for like hundreds of years.
Yes.
And it was really strange, and it was just by myself. It wasn't like a party experience. It was very internal.
Crazy.
But through that like 6-hour mushroom experience.
Oh yeah.
I felt something like going from the past to the present and like the releasing and knowing that I will not like many of the people we've had in here.
Yeah.
Of this generation X and the millennials.
For sure.
Identifying the generational trauma so that we could grow beyond it.
Yes.
Because if you can't identify it, you cannot
to
grow
name it.
beyond it. You have to name it.
Yeah.
You know, and like something like I saw the generations of pain with that experience.
And you're healing it for your ancestors.
Right.
It's in your bones. It's in your bloodline.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
you're healing the bloodline.
Yeah. And so at the end, I felt like I get to be the champion of my
Yes.
bloodline
Yes.
to stop that.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. I love that. I had an ayahuasca journey.
Okay.
And shout out to my hermano Shane. He invited me to heal, and I had an ayahuasca ceremony. And this was a part of like learning for self-love because it's plant medicine, right? And I'm in the middle of the ceremony, and I remember and it was on a reservation. And in
During
Hollister.
a sweat? I'm just kidding.
Not in a sweat, but outdoors during an ayahuasca ceremony. And I
Okay,
remember looking up at the trees, and the sun was peeking through, and it was like shining really bright. And I remember doing this, like, and then the sun in my voice told me, don't look away. Look at me. Sonia, I am you and you are me. Right? And you are love.
So
And
you had
you
a
are
moment.
loved.
Yeah.
And it was like God was speaking to me, but through the sun. And telling me like you need to love yourself. Don't look away. Like face it. You know.
Right.
Love yourself.
That's,
and
that's so much better. I'm glad you said that. So much better than Johnny's story, where he told us, another guy from San Jose, what he saw from this guy was completely different.
Was it darkness?
It was just crazy. Like, no, we were blown away by that too, right? He was like, and then I just saw these giant balls, these huevos, come down and do it. And I'm like, what the hell just happened here? So I was like, where is this going?
Hey, shout out to Johnny, man.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
I mean, you know,
Johnny is amazing.
He's
Johnny's
really
a great
cool.
guy,
Yeah.
man.
We did get a chance to, and Andy had it over with us too.
Speaking of this
to
whole
catch up with that.
ayahuasca. Okay, so
Ayahuasca.
I had a conversation with C's. I don't know if you know who C's is, but
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
So I was talking to him. This is probably about a month ago or so, and he was telling me like, bro, there's a dude that he knows that does something like similar to that, where it's all native type of like healing, and he's like, dude, you're gonna be there. You're gonna cry. You're gonna vomit. It's like all the toxic
It'll purge
shit.
It's huge.
all the darkness.
It's a
everything
big
coming out of
thing.
it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
You know how he's like, dog, I'm telling you, it will heal you. I'm like,
I've been
but
invited.
it's expensive.
Yeah. Oh, see, I've been invited. I've been invited to a sweat in Arizona. A
sweat is different.
Yeah,
but yes,
a good friend of mine said, "This is your invitation." I go, "My invitation to what?" He's all, "You can come with me on the reservation." He's all, "I'm gonna tell you right now, it's intense."
Yeah.
He goes, "It's a weekend long. you're gonna go through a ton of emotion. He goes, and I get a guest. We all get a guest per time we do this every year in Arizona. And he goes, and I want to invite you. I never went, but
what? You didn't go? I
no.
thought that was
I know.
gonna-
I thought he was.
I
you
wish
went.
I haven't. This was like last year sometime, and he did give me like a feather, and he gave me a little bit of what's it called? The cactus,
Peyote.
the peyote. Yeah. So he gave me the peyote, and then he gave me a feather, and then he said, "Listen, brother, like I'm not kidding. His family is very, very big into this." And he goes, "We build the teepees, we eat, we smoke, we do the sweat," and then he goes, "But you're gonna see, and you're gonna hear, and you're gonna feel."
And
Things
you're
that
gonna see
you've
some
never found in your whole
Purging
life.
and
See some
crying
skinwalkers?
and like, ooh.
I don't know, man, but like I do want to try it, and
I'm
mean,
interested. I'm
I'm
curious.
definitely interested, man.
I'm very curious.
I'm just a
Do it
little.
in a safe place. Do
Yeah,
it
that's
with
what
people
he's
you
like.
trust.
People, that's what he always
Yeah.
says. You got to have the right people there with you
Yeah.
for something like that.
My
But-
my buddy Shane and my buddy Jaime, my hermanos from back home, we grew up together.
Yeah.
We grew up together, and they're on their healing journey too.
Okay.
And they
That's
invited
awesome.
me. I've been a couple times, and oh my God, it's
gotta be intense.
it releases the things that are deep down inside of you that you don't even know are there, that you need to get rid of. Like you need to purge. You need to just get it
So
out.
is it similar to what I was mentioning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Wow.
how he described. When I if you follow the rules and you fast before, you shouldn't purge too much, right? Like
Oh,
But
okay.
if you break the rules and like eat before, you're supposed to not have. I think you're supposed to fast at least 24 hours beforehand, right? And so I know everyone who cheats usually vomits everything you ate that day before, so don't do it.
Oh wow! So you got to definitely
Yeah.
fast. Yeah.
But I mean, I think it releases that deep, dark emotion. You just like it's wailing. People are wailing because they're releasing this pain that's stuck in their cells and bones, and you just got to let it out, and you face stuff that you don't even know is inside you. Some people repress memories, repress trauma. This will release it. It'll help you like face it.
I'm definitely curious, man.
I do wanna
I
try
think
it.
that's something that would really
Would be
like
cool.
to do.
Yeah, but do it with people you trust.
Yeah, for sure.
But then it's like, who do you know that does that?
Well, I can refer you to my hermanos that
okay.
I trust. Like I trust with my life. So I know that you would be in good hands. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Well,
cool. That's
I
cool.
think
Yeah,
we
you
should
should
do
try
it.
it out, man. That'd be cool.
I think we should both
We're
do
gonna take a
it.
camera crew with you, me and Andy.
Yeah. Watch us just throw up all over ourselves.
Sonia,
I-
I did my ayahuasca journey in the jungles of the Amazon in Peru.
Did you
That's
really?
wild. Okay, we need that story eventually. I want to talk to you about
Yeah.
that. That's wild, bro.
Yeah. Wow. That's probably
That's a good one.
a sacred place to do.
Yeah.
To do it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
What
that's
a
a whole nother
That's
story.
beautiful. Yeah.
You have a lot of work that you've done here, but you also do dance as well, right?
Yes.
And you
Yeah.
were a dancer.
Dance too.
Yeah. Latin dance.
49ers halftime show.
I did.
Right?
Yes.
San Francisco Salsa Congress. What the hell?
Yes.
Like, I mean,
Yes.
you.
oh my God, you guys found out everything
I
about
mean,
me. Yes.
you do a lot of a lot of work, and
Yeah.
I love that you put like some of the special skill stuff is salsa and like cha cha and cumbia,
Yep.
merengue. And so but
Good job in saying those words.
Thanks, man. Wow, I think we're making a big milestone for us right here, bro.
He's getting there.
Yeah, I'm getting there. All right, my accent's getting a little thicker. He gives me such a hard time about my accent, but I get the pocho talk a lot. But I saw that you do a lot of the theater stuff, the dancing stuff. It keeps you super busy, and of course the film, and obviously. What would you say the main focus would be? Would it be the film in the directing part, the executive producer part, or the acting?
Acting.
Okay, the acting is the goal.
Hands down, acting.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah.
And when you look for roles, and when people pitch you roles and stuff like that, what are you looking for specifically, like for yourself?
For me, I do visceral roles. Like I'm unafraid to do a dark, gritty role because that's the pain that people need to be able to see, right? I feel like when I'm performing, I'm telling someone's story in a role. I'm telling someone's story, even if it's painful, even if it's ugly, even if it's dark, because whoever went through that needs to see themselves. And I feel like that's my purpose, is to share the stories of the human condition, where I will never judge the character. So I'm not going to judge a role just because it's dark and gritty. Those are the stories I want to tell. because I feel like it needs to be released and shared. So that's what I gravitate towards, the drama. Of course, I always get cast in comedies as well. So
that's cool.
You prefer comedy or
the drama?
or dramatic?
I prefer the dramatic ones.
Right. Because it looks like you have, I mean, just based on what I viewed from the Addicted to You film, you definitely have a passion more for the drama side.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
I don't know. I haven't seen any of the comedic stuff yet, like the comedy side of things.
Well,
I
I'll
imagine
share
you'd be
stuff with
okay.
you.
Yeah.
Sabrina is a comedy, but also King of Downey's a comedy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I get cast in a lot of comedies.
really? So the Sabrina, it's a small series, right? A micro series.
Micro-series, yeah.
Okay. And what
Vertical series.
Yeah. What is more than instead of like a young girl about a quinceañera from 16 or being for her quince and
Yeah, we're trying to. Okay, so newer generations, a lot of the kids don't want a quinceañera. They just want like a sweet 16, or they don't want anything
Sweet
because
16 now.
they feel so distant from the culture. And in this series, Sabrina, me and JR, who plays my husband.
Shout out JR.
I see you, bro.
We're trying to get her
Crazy
to have a
rebel.
quinceañera, and our daughter doesn't want to have one. She's
okay.
I don't even have any friends. She's like, I don't even know what that means. Like, she's not
Yeah.
connected
That
to
whole
the
Gen
culture
Z.
the way we were, And so she's like, it's just why? And we're trying to convince her, like, this is tradition.
Who you
The
are.
quinceañera's tradition, And she just doesn't get it or doesn't want to, agree to it. And so it's a struggle, but it's, what's going on in the family, and then us trying to get through what we have going on in the family. It's a good
That's
vertical.
And it's available on,
It's on
Latino
YouTube.
USA or in,
It's on YouTube. It's on Instagram. It's on where else is it?
I thought I saw Latino USA Network or something like that too.
Yes.
Okay, that's
I think
cool.
it's on that page. Yeah. That page too,
Wow.
yeah. It's accessible. You can watch all the episodes.
Do you have any you just got done filming a new movie, right? Or were you filming something recently?
No.
No. But do you have anything coming up in the pipeline now for your project?
Homegoing. I play a therapist, and it's about mental health.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's an important story to tell. Patty Diaz is the writer director, and we're taking it to Chicago next Thursday and Friday. Next Friday, we're going to be in Chicago with Chicano Hollywood with
Johnny?
Johnny's
Nice.
daughter.
Oh yeah, you know what?
Bethany.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That how when he was telling us about that, like he's like, yeah. I go, so you do the social, and he goes, kind of, and he was like, kind of. We're like, what? He goes, my daughter steps in when I do things. She's like, Dad, that's not gonna work, or she kind of like, she's a little bit of the gatekeeper on that. I'm like, that's cool though. I'm like, that you guys get to work together and things like that. And now she's
Bethany actually directed Sabrina. She directed that series.
Oh, so there you go.
Johnny's daughter
Okay.
directed Sabrina.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's there trying.
But Homegoing, we're gonna take Homegoing is a
Homegoing.
film about mental health, and I played the therapist, and then my patient is someone who's in hospice, a young gentleman who's in hospice. He's 30 years old and dying.
30.
And so it's hard, to deal with that
Yeah.
grief, knowing that it's coming. And so it's a deep film, and that's the one that we're promoting right now. So shout out to Patty Diaz.
Right on. Shout out, Patty. That's cool.
Patty Diaz.
Well, tell us more when it comes out. We definitely, keep us in contact. We'll definitely put it up there.
I gotta
I could-
ask, how did you manage to get not once, not twice, not three, but 4
Oh my God.
Best Actress awards?
yeah.
Yes. Well, I mean, it was from Addicted to You.
Was it
It
just
was all from one film, Addicted to You.
an 18-minute film?
Yes. And I feel like so many people resonated with that story.
As I did.
And when you say, how did you get Best Actress 4 times? It was for that film. But I was telling, that was my pain.
Yeah.
What you see in that film is my pain, 20 plus years of pain.
Damn.
So if I can put it into one film and one performance, that was it. So I think that resonated, but also it resonated with audiences. It resonated with film festivals. It resonated with other directors. And
I mean,
it was my real pain.
speaking of like resonating with other film festivals, we were looking at the cover of Addicted to You, and the official selection of the San Diego International Film Award, the Galliff, the Cannes World Film Festival. Like, I mean, big film festivals were looking at your short film
Right.
and awarding you. I mean, of course, Chicano Hollywood,
Yes.
but
Mexican American Film and TV Festival.
yeah, like that's got to be a
Georgia.
big thing, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
have you gotten any other roles or leads because of it?
Oh, absolutely. I think
Yeah?
almost everything after that was from someone who watched Addicted to You.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it just
It just
opened
kept
up a
rolling.
bunch of doors.
Yeah, it just kept rolling.
Would you say it would be one of your bigger pieces right now that you have out there, like the Addicted to You?
Yeah, I think it's important because I wasn't only acting in it; I executive produced it. So
Oh, okay.
the storyline, I had storyboarded the whole film, and I took it to David Manzanales from Four Ways Entertainment, and he wrote the script based on the storyboard. And it was an inspiration that I had received from during COVID in 2020. During that time frame, I watched the film Malcolm and Marie with Zendaya and Anthony David Washington, I think his name is. And I was like, oh my God, this is a very volatile like relationship and toxic. And it was just like, it all happened in one night in one location. And I thought, well, I could do that. I could tell my story in one night, one location. So then I storyboarded it, took it to David. David wrote the script. And then that's how we were able to bring it to life. But I think that this film itself had so much of me in it more than any other project I've ever done.
That's crazy. Because, I mean, to be a best actress in a short film, according to the Cannes Film Festival, which is a massive, massive film festival. Like, everybody talks about going to the Cannes Film Festival.
Cannes.
Cannes. But I mean,
I always thought it was Canes.
Cannes. I mean, but still, it's such a big it's such a big part of the film world.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, good for you, though. I mean,
Yeah, that's
congratulations
awesome.
on all that because
Big accomplishment.
yeah,
man.
that's a really big compliment. I can't even imagine what that's like. Have you ever been to the
Yeah.
festival?
No.
No. But I'm sure
No.
it's on the list to be.
Oh, of course.
Going
Of
there.
course.
With
Yes.
with your own
She'll be there.
Yeah.
film.
I
and-
will. Yes.
Yeah,
She'll be
yes.
there.
Thank
You're
you.
with your own film and
Yeah.
your own production, your own everything.
And she'll bring us along.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. You know. Yeah, we'll go on the red carpets. Looking at your
Yes.
looking at your Instagram, you did a lot of red carpets, and that's at Sonia Balcazar.
Yes.
Kazar.
Balcazar.
Oh, that's actually
Balcazar.
really good. I mean, that's the English version, and you got the Spanish version.
Okay, there we go.
And that's why
But
we.
it's both
And that's
pronounced correctly. Thank you.
So at Sonia Balcazar on Instagram, she has a lot of stuff on there that shows all the work that you're doing right now. Of course, Addicted to You. And is there anything else that maybe that you have coming out that you can tell people, like give us on the inside of? And also thank you for coming and doing your first interview back from where you were
I
like,
know.
I
yeah,
can't
that's
do this.
a that's a
Thanks
big
for
honor,
that.
honestly.
Thank
Like,
you for that. Like,
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me.
No,
giving
thank
me
you.
this space.
You're
And shout
cutting
out to
Eddie's
Renee.
Yes, Renee,
drinking
thank
time. Just kidding, bro. But is there any other projects that you got like lined up that you want to promote here and tell us that's coming up?
Well, definitely Homegoing.
Homegoing,
That one's still in the film festival circuit, so it's pretty new.
Are you writing something new right now?
Oh yes, you just reminded me.
Hey, let's go.
Okay, so I think it's really important. I don't have kids, but I'm a godmother. So my
Cool.
nieces, I'm really big into inspiring kids, and I do want to in my future have. I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. I want to develop a way to help foster children to use art like acting to express themselves, express their pain, much like how I processed my pain through my film. So, sometime in my future, I want to create a foundation or some way to give access to foster children, like I did for Upward Bound, like help the kids process through writing scripts and performing and getting those feelings out. So I want to do that. But what I have access to now is helping my nieces, my godchildren know that anything is possible.
Mm-hmm.
So my 10-year-old niece comes to me and she's like, Nina, when are you going to put me in one of your films? Like, when can I be in one of your films? And I was like,
Oh, she's ready to act.
I go, you don't got to wait for me to put you in one of my films. And you don't got to wait until you go through years of school. If you want to make a film, let's make a film. What do you want to make a film about? And so I said, let's talk about it. Let's storyboard it. Let's get what are you going to wear? What's your character? Let's make one together. And so she wrote something. Well, she wrote the storyline. It's a horror film. It's a short, and I, involved one of my friends, one of my buddies, to write the script, and he wrote a 4-page script based on my niece's storyline, and it's a horror film, and we were gonna film it in June, but the riots, the curfew, in LA, in downtown LA, because that's where we were gonna film it. It was past our shooting time, so we had to postpone it. So we're planning to do it in October.
Oh, cool.
So that's my next.
Wow.
I'm trying to empower my niece to think like, you don't need to wait for permission to do what you want. You don't need to wait to have money. Just get your resources together and let's do this together, and we're gonna make it happen.
Could you imagine? That's gonna be such a
she's
confidence
10.
booster for her.
Yeah,
Be like,
10.
I
storyboarded
that was my input.
Yes, and she's gonna act.
That's
in it.
awesome.
Yeah, so
I
that's
love
the next
that.
project. Yeah.
Good for you. October, huh? So, or well, very soon. Like that's right around the corner. Man, that's great. Well, I mean, thanks so much for coming out the box with us, because we know that had to be really hard, and also sharing some personal experiences that you have told us even off that you really never shared before.
No, I went. I shared more than I've ever shared before. Yeah.
Especially when during our little break, what she mentioned that was the first time she had mentioned that about the mom. So
see, and it wasn't bad. We didn't make you cry because JR makes everybody think that we make everybody cry, but we don't.
Made it a point to hijack our podcast and make it funny
because he
was like,
watch some of your podcasts, and I cried watching it. So I get what he's saying.
We just so happened to pick up some stories at that time that were very near and dear to us, and it just so happened that it was really sad, especially shout out Lisette. And that was a tough one. Out to her. Yeah, and Mike and her husband, and we
sons
as in our growth, we have never done anything like that. Him and I, because we're before all this, we were all about, to be honest, we were all about the dick and fart jokes, and it was like we can't do that all the time, you know, like it just doesn't work after a while. It doesn't. It's fun, you know.
Especially
what I mean?
When it's two grown men.
Yeah, and we're just constantly, drinking on the show and like doing whatever the hell we want to. We're like, we had to change it up, but we didn't expect anybody to come on and start crying. So then when JR comes in, he's all, you guys are going to make me cry, man. You guys are going to make me cry, man. I'm like, oh my God, what's happening?
But shout out to Lisette too, because I watched that podcast, and for her to be so vulnerable and share that with us, right? Or your audience.
Yeah.
But also I remember the part where she talked about not forgiving, but like the daughter, the
girlfriend,
right? And then bringing her to church, and truly,
wow,
I was like,
man,
that's intense.
That was. Shout out to, she's a strong woman. Yes, a strong woman, and I'm glad that she's continuing to help support the girlfriend.
And matter of fact, we have a sideshow coming up.
Yeah, we have a project we're working on with her, along with C's.
Oh, okay.
And Renee.
It's in the progress. We've been talking with that.
And our guy
with
Javier from Talk About Good.
And our usual guys, Renee, and our director, Andy. Like we talk with the crew. Like we've had because we got so much input on Lisette's story, and we didn't know. Like we were just like, well, okay, let's just check this out, and it just turned into something. And you know what? Now she's really nice, and she's always reaching out, talking with us about things, and we love that she's out there trying to help other people and their in the community for their things. But what a trip though. But thanks for coming through, Sonia. We do a quote here on the show.
Oh yeah, every time I do have that
we
quote.
Close out. But I mean, your reading might have taken. I don't know, man.
I don't know if it's gonna.
I don't know. Is it gonna resonate?
It's pretty good here. Let's see. Okay, let's.
Let's see. Trauma creates change you don't choose. Healing is about creating change you do choose.
Hey now.
And that's by John Hendrickson.
Right on. I like that.
Yeah,
too.
I agree. Yeah.
It took me a while to find something like that because I wanted it to coincide with.
It's perfect. Yeah. I think that's perfect. I feel like this is saying the same thing. I mean, there was so much more. It's so long, but like, let me go to the end, right?
Go for it.
All right, go for it. Yeah, man. I like that she came prepared, and making us look bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? Right? She's like, I'm gonna make these guys look bad. First off, they're not gonna make me cry, and secondly, I'm gonna make them look bad.
I mean, you can use this. You don't have to, but you are the ones your ancestors prayed for. The one they fought for. You are their legacy, not just their wounds, but their strength. And when you heal, you don't just free yourself, you free them, your ancestors. You free the ones who will come after you. This is your inheritance. This is your power. This is how you heal a curse, by turning it into a blessing.
Nice.
That's awesome.
You could reach at Sonia Balcazar. She looks like she wants to do some voiceover work now too. She's probably going to add it to her resume, so look out. Because those 2 readings right there, just go ahead and do it. You know,
Some
but
narrating.
I know, right? I mean, you could probably narrate some stuff like you know. That you
could.
might want to have a go ahead and clip that so you could put it in your audition reel.
Why not?
Hey, you know, but
Throw it in that resume.
Sonia, do me a favor and give us all your socials and where we can see some of your stuff out. Just kind of lay it out for us right there. You know, where we can reach out.
Follow me on Instagram at Sonia Balcazar, and I have a Linktree link there that has links to a lot of my work on Vimeo. But you can also check it out on YouTube, or actually, not a lot of stuff is on YouTube, but some stuff is. Instagram, Facebook, under Sonia Balcazar. Let me see, IMDb. You can check me out there as well, and the work that I'm doing or up and coming work. Let me see what else. I think probably the best way is Instagram because my links are there in the bio.
Okay. Yeah, and we'll of course we'll share that below in the YouTube description. You could also click through on there and see a lot of her work, because she has done a ton of stuff. And you know, we could probably talk to you forever about all of the projects that you have been doing leading up to this point. But I'm sure we're going to be talking to you more because you have more projects to do, and we would love
to do a follow-up.
I would love to come back.
Please come back.
It.
And also, if you have any red carpets that you want us to go and cover for you, we were supposed to go cover JR's yesterday. I think.
Yeah, you guys failed that
I think
one.
I blew that one. I blew that one. That was mine.
Not yesterday. It was on Wednesday.
Was it Wednesday?
We got 2 more Wednesdays.
We got 2 more?
Okay. So we have 1 more.
We got 1 more
there's 2
Wednesday.
more.
We're gonna try and make it up, JR. But you know, we're supposed to go cover a red carpet with him that he's doing a really cool community event out in West Covina. Okay. But like I said, if you ever want us to go out there, you know, and I mean, we can be kind and we can walk up and be like, hey, let's ask you a couple questions here.
Yeah.
You know, that'll be really cool. And just we'll head on over and go see wherever you're at.
Sounds great.
And if we ever hear anything ourselves, we'll of course throw it your way as well too. You know, but
thank you.
Doors open, as we always say. Come on through and have a chat with us.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming through, Sonia.
It's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
I know, we appreciate you.
Thanks,
Awesome.
And thanks to everybody that watched the last episode and has been checking out our premieres on our YouTube channel at Tapped In Media, and also available on Instagram and TikTok at tappedin_media. You go and hit us up there. Big shout out to her, Sunny. She hit us up not too long ago. She's doing a lot better. And you want to check out her coffee and stuff like that, head on over to delseedcoffee.com and use our promo code.
Tappedin_media.
That's right. Almost.
And don't forget TikTok.
I already did. Did I do that?
No, you didn't do TikTok.
All right. Well, next time I'll get it, bro.
Tappedin_media.
All right. Well, everybody take care of yourselves out there. Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.